Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you another video. Alright, so I'm finding ways to clear more space. I got 42 minutes to talk. Imagine that, 42 minutes. I think I want to do a therapy session. I thought I want to do an NBA video. I have no idea what I'm saying here. I just want to turn on the camera and say hello and let whatever fly. I don't think this is an NBA video. I think this probably will be a therapy session. I'm just continuing them all over what my friend yesterday was talking to me about in regards to myself, and I realized that as I was listening to the video, I didn't tell the story that ultimately she was telling in regards to a chicken sandwich. Basically, about 16 years ago, when she was helping me move out of Dunsmuir, my friend B, the story is a little murky to me, and I don't remember it. But I guess I bought a sandwich for her, and then, as she described it, demanded that she pay me back right away. That's her recollection of things, but I can tell you I don't recognize that energy in my spirit. Not to say that I've never asked anybody to pay me back. Not to say that I didn't do that. It's just that the way that she described it made it seem like I was really snotty and adamant about her paying right now. And I just don't think so. That's not in me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like certain energies, when somebody describes something to you, yeah, like that sound like me. But other stuff, how things are phrased, how a person says certain things about, in reflection of how you did it, I'm like, that's not even in me. That's not one of my traits. You might as well have said I was switching around wearing a dress. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think she received me differently than what it was I was trying to send out. And, it became frustrating because I know I have a bad memory. Others know I have a bad memory. So that can create other tea leaves to look at, things that probably ain't anywhere near true. But as my brain provides options, there's one. And it's like, because my boy Les, of whom I turned away yesterday for the second time based on my own circumstances and how uncomfortable I am, and that's just the crap of my personality that ultimately I have to burn for, right? It's just trash. But at the end of the day, that's her brother, so she has every right to be upset. And because that's a tea leaf, I look at this situation, I say, well, with her knowing my memory's trash, how do I know she's just not feeding me stuff that she knows I'm probably not going to remember in ways that make me feel worse about myself in response to the circumstance? It makes sense to me. Not to say that that's her character, I'm used to her doing that, but she's responding to me in a way that reflects character within myself that I don't see either. So it just becomes a situation where I let everything be true, including that I'm deflecting and that this is selective memory and that I don't want to believe I'm a worse person and happen to be anyway. That's also a tea leaf. I will leave that as possible, but I don't see that. I don't feel that. I don't speak it the way she described to anyone. so it's like, yo, I remember circumstances where she didn't receive me properly. Just fact. Where I said this, she took that, as I said yesterday in the therapy session. It's been done more than once. So as I look back on this and realize 16 years has passed or more, now I don't remember this at all. And so it just becomes a situation where all kinds of things are possible. And at the end of the day, at the true end of the day, I would love to be somebody who, if somebody does so much for me, which she has done plenty, I would like to be the person that doesn't leave them with bad taste in their mouth. I would like to be the person that didn't do the things that she said I did. And if I did those things, it's just one more reason why I need to continue to suffer the ills that I've been going through. Period. But as I continue to assess and be as open and transparent with you guys as I possibly can about stuff that I know most people would probably keep to themselves, I cannot receive that I do not want to receive criticism from friends. Now, strangers and trolls, yeah, maybe I don't want to hear nothing from y'all. But friends who've done a lot for me, I pride myself inside, in the dark, as someone who can receive from them what it is that ultimately would be critical of me, because that is what they earn by doing so much for me. So if I believe that to my core, what she described in saying, yo, do this, I'm gonna need that money back right now. Like that's not even in me. I don't respect that in others. And most importantly, I remember during that time buying sandwiches for people. I remember one time, one of my exes, we had gotten in a very, very bad argument way back in the day before this. And the character that I have, I brought that woman a sandwich just because I knew she hadn't eaten. I was mad at her. We were damn near broken up, but I didn't care because my overall desire to see her fed and nourished during her work hours overrode whatever it was that was a struggle in our friendship or relationship at the time. And so it's like when somebody tells me that I was petty with them when they were doing so much for me, it's like, can you bring a receipt? Can you at least tell me which restaurant we went to? And you know, my thing was, I felt like she was attacking me last night because when I brought up helping me remember what it was that was said, you know, she kind of gave me something along the lines of, well, I can't help you remember nothing because you're a weed smoker. I'm like, oh, so you have that in mind as you're telling me this bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I don't know who's really in my corner anymore. Because at the end of the day, I've done things that would otherwise put people against me, and that's my fault. But as I assess that, it's like, man, who do I trust? Like, honestly, who do I trust? I trust God, man. And as I meditate on certain things, the only thing that comes to mind is, you're only who you are, man. I've done certain things that would leave people bad taste in their mouth because I've been protecting myself against things that only I can relate to. Terrors and things that I went through that made me this way, that I've struggled. It ain't like I wanted to prioritize my comfort over what truly made sense. It suffered me an ill life of loneliness and unnecessary sacrifices and a lack of understanding and information, and even friendships that are misunderstood. I don't want these problems that I've held all my life. So when people hold me accountable for them, I feel like a victim as it pertains to them being applied to me against my will. Not those characteristics, but just the ills themselves of my mindset, the mental health. I didn't ask for that. So it's like, as I continue to see my character being attacked for me protecting my mental health, for which I did not want to do, I just realized that's just the evil of the circumstance. I've been misunderstood for a long time. This is why I made the channel. I didn't understand what was going on in myself. I didn't have it all together, and I found myself being a very broken person when I found myself in this apartment. All of the stuff that she's referring to happened before I got to this apartment. So it's like a lot of what it is I've grown through has been done by myself in silence, away from everybody who knew me. So they didn't see the growth, they didn't see the struggles, they didn't see the breakdown, they didn't see the buildup, they didn't see me building the list. And I told you guys, I started praying for others because I awoken to the realization that I was deeply, deeply selfish and self-centered. It's what this has all been about. It's why the prayer list ever started in the first place. I woke up to the realization I was the most selfish person I knew. And it wasn't because it reflected in my heart a desire to discard of others. It reflected in my heart an understanding that I was never safe. Never. At no point in time in my life have I ever felt safe. And so I always tried to manifest safety in my own life by keeping myself away from otherwise threats, which is everyone. Literally. Because I don't know what's in the heart to anybody. And so that's what it really comes down to. I don't trust nobody. Can't trust nobody. I've never known anybody well enough to trust anybody. And the people that I did let close to me, they were either wonderful human beings, of whom I trust today, but don't know how to trust properly because of whatever else is out there, or people I probably just should not have trusted. But I've been lucky enough to have some wonderful human beings in my life. But how close have I been to those wonderful human beings to know exactly how wonderful they've been when I've spent a good 70% of my life by myself? It's just the conundrum of my lifestyle. So if people don't understand me, or they take from me what they shouldn't, or they misread me, it's because I'm never around consistently enough for them to actually read me properly. It's the evil of the circumstance. Nobody fault but mine, I suppose, but I'm not mad at me because it's the only thing I would have otherwise chose. I don't know that I could have survived any other way with the head I've had. But I can tell you what I'm not. Cheap. Selfish as it pertains to what I'd be willing to do for people who've done plenty for me. Not evil as it pertains to, I know you don't have a lot. I do have a lot. Let me take from you what it is that I otherwise could give to you, just out of the evil in my heart. It's not there. And that's exactly what she described to me last night. So that's the problem. It's like, let me tell you what's in there that I don't like. Start listing off stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like, some of that stuff just has to be kept to yourself for obvious reasons. But if the world was kind to every sin, believe me, I'd be able to confess it all. I don't harbor nothing. Never cared. Life is too short to harbor anything that's going to harm you on the inside out. From the inside out, that's all I've ever struggled with any damn way. It's inside out. So I'm not going to further, destroy myself in that way by harboring things that I could otherwise just tell the truth about. You know what I'm saying? But people lock people up stuff. It is what it is. So if you want to keep your voice and your freedom, some stuff should not be confessed in this world. This is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you the truth, man. I am not afraid of my own shortcomings. I'm not afraid of my own flaws. I think they're on display all day long on this channel. So I just want people to understand, and it's not that I'm deflecting what she's saying as could not be true. It's just that when you tell me stuff about me that I don't recognize, when I'm looking inward at all times, because that's just how this thing works, I know that you have to be questioned in regards to what you see in me. Because I'm not one of those people that run from self. I'm one of those people that's always in my own head. I hear all of what it is that my thoughts are. Ain't none of them sound like that shit she was talking about. You feel me? And so when it comes down to that, it's just like, yo, you're projecting something on me, it seems. Or I just got it wrong. Both could be the case, but one is true. And I'm telling you, I ain't feeling none of that. I ain't feeling it. I woke up this morning not feeling it. Not to say that I need to continue to be selfish in the way that she described and whatever it was that I did, but to just allow people to pile on their projection of your personality however they see it, when they ain't wanting to communicate none of that over 20 years. But now in this choice moment when things could be lined up a certain way for them to be offended, now they want to pile on stuff that they should have been telling you years ago. It's like, nah, I don't necessarily have to receive that. Because if you would have brought it up to me in the moment, I could have handled that. You know what I mean? And you didn't think nothing to do that. So it's like, if you're going to harbor stuff on me and not mention it, and then just let it seep in your heart, that's a reflection of your character, not mine. Because I'd have said sorry in the moment. You wanted to hold something against me, to release on me when the moment made sense to you. How many more of those you got in your back pocket, friend? So it's just like, yo, I know my character. I know where I've come from. I know the demons in my heart that nobody else know about. I don't like those demons no more than anybody else would. But if you show me something that I don't identify, I don't recognize, or you tell me I did some shit I don't remember doing, you better show me some receipts. You better show me some receipts. You better at least tell me a restaurant. Can you give me a restaurant name? Instead of just reminding me that my memory is not good. I know my memory's not great, which is why I have to leave room for you being right. But that don't mean I'm going to sit up here and try to recollect some stuff that ain't in my head based on things that you described that I never would have did. Never would have did. So that's really what it come down to. I think it could have went down the way she said it did, but she described it in such a way that I don't recognize. And that's the point. If maybe she could say, yo, this is kind of how it went. And I took it that way. And they were like, oh. And then it's just the context of certain things. I just don't understand. Like, if you're going to just explain to me what it is I didn't give to you, because it was another situation, she said I didn't give her something. It was like some cleaning equipment. She said that she had helped me work all week and asked me for some cleaning equipment. I guess I told her I could give it to her and then realized I could use it in the next place I was going. And then she threw in a jab saying I didn't even know where I was going. I didn't even know if I would have a place to clean, which was some bullshit because I knew exactly where I was going. I was going to my mother's apartment, which didn't have a refrigerator, but did have a tub that would likely need to be cleaned because I would be using it. I actually remember that. See? But it's like, I paid for my cleaning equipment. It's mine. First of all. If I told her she could have it and then realized I could use it and still need it, that's whack of me. That's whack. You should have let her have it. And I wish I would have. It wasn't that serious. And if she would have brought it up to me to let me know it was that serious, you know what I would have done? I gave it to her. No problem. But that she's holding me accountable for something that she didn't want to hold me accountable for then, something I paid for that was belonging to me, that I apparently realized I could use. Apparently I'm supposed to be giving that to her out of the kindness of my heart, even though it's not actually there. Nor did she inspire it, because she didn't say, Brandon, this is some bullshit. Wake up. You're being a snotty person to someone who's done something for you all week. Look at yourself and see where you're at and where you're going wrong. She didn't give me the courtesy or the love in her heart to hold me accountable then. She only want to throw it at me now, and I barely remember it. Just to make me feel bad. Attached to a bunch of insults that don't inspire any more of the memory necessary to understand what the hell she was talking about. And then she threw some digs in there about if something goes wrong in my personal life and I need help, I know I can't turn to you. If I need some money, I know I can't turn to you. No, you can't. I have a mental health issue. I haven't been able to get out of my own way all my life, friend. That's why I needed so much help all my life from you, because I couldn't help myself, friend. You know, it's one thing that my ex told me that I used to do that I now see that was awful, that I did. I used to throw things back in her face. She would tell me something in confidence, and in an argument, that would be the time I want to bring it up. Trash. Don't like that trait in me. That's what was thrown at me last night. I get it now, B. My ex, if you're watching this video, I get it. Salute. I know exactly how that feels. It's trash. Don't do that to folks. Don't take a tea leaf from them when they give you something in confidence or they show you something when they're in time of weakness and you come back around and throw it in their face. Like, yo, remember that time you didn't show up with this, that? Yeah, I do. I still harbor those thoughts. I wish I would have got that right. You feel me? I don't need you to throw that in my face, because all that's going to do is make me want to sit in the corner and not be more progressive and be mad at myself. Is that what you want, friend? But you know, I struggle. I overthink. So it's just like, yo, people are friends because they've proven themselves to be friends. But people also show the evil in their heart when you don't do what they want you to do. You know what I'm saying? Or when they're unhappy in their own world. You know what I mean? They don't like choices they made. So they want to attach to you things that ultimately make them hate you so they can be mad at you too, or whatever the case. Whatever the case. It just feels like an attack. And granted, maybe I'm due. But here's my thing. And I tell all of you this. If I'm protecting myself against things that I think are possible, that aren't positive, whatever the case may be, if I say, yo, I don't want this person around me for whatever reasons, or I don't want to bring this person in my circumstance because it's going to inconvenience me in such a way. If I make that decision, I got to live with the consequences of that. Whether it hurts my reputation, however it goes, I will live with my choices, especially selfish ones. But if I'm telling you I'm guarding against certain things, and you're supposed to be my friend and you know how I'm dealing with certain things, then where's the solidarity in the sense that maybe he's not making the right decision if he were normal and operated like everybody else? But since he's in his own head all the time and is barely holding on, as I know, because I've been helping him all this time, for which I'm thankful for, then why would this not be one of them situations where you could just say, you know what? He's falling short. I'm going to pray for him. I'm going to hold him accountable. But all the extras, the digs, nah. If you want to separate a friendship from me based on what it is I couldn't do for your brother, I ain't going to disrespect that. You know what I'm saying? You said friendship off, bro. You ain't showing up for us. Friendship off. Okay, I own that. I deserve that. That's my shortcoming as a person. I burn for that. But don't come back around and tell me that you see what it is that I'm trying to guard against and then proceed to punish me for guarding against it. That's what's going on there. And it's funny because it's like she brought up the old stories of what it is that I may have done that I did. She said I did. But what she would not do is help me understand the pointers of that story that would otherwise allow me to recall anything. So it's like, yo, I remember the CRL. And I remember the time we went to Carl's Jr. I don't remember who paid for what. I don't remember how the money exchange went. And I certainly don't remember strongly about her giving me back $7, $8 for a damn sandwich, fam. I had a job. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing that. Now, she brought up the fact that I could have been more generous with the money that was left to me from my mother, which is respected because she had a relationship with my mother that was almost like mother and daughter too. So it's not like I, look at that and say, oh, that's crazy. It's not crazy. But the way that she wasn't here for that 401k situation. So the way she saw it was I was just holding on to my mama's money, not sharing it with nobody, maybe broke bread once with somebody, but that was it. It's like, that's not how that went. I was trying to hold on to that money for the rest of my life to leave to my kids. I went into a situation where I had a mental breakdown after a certain sequence of circumstances that took place in 2018. At that time, I started picking from my 401k slowly, and eventually it decreased to nothing. I never actually did anything for myself with that money but pay rent and sit in this house and be depressed. Could I have done better with that money? Of course, but I didn't identify what it was in the first damn place. It was just a countdown. It was that money to me was what do you call it? Sand clocks. Sand clock. And you sitting there, you're just watching it slowly dwindle. That's exactly what it was. It was a slow burn in my mind that decreased that basically represented my mother. Every time I look up, I had to pay rent. It was a little bit of her disappearing down to nothingness. That's what it represented. I never saw that for what it was. I didn't even identify it properly in my own skull to share with others the right way. Now, had she been close enough to me to know just how sick I was, she would have the context to know that. But instead, she just throws it in my face like I'm some stable-ass person over here just making bad decisions out of the darkness of my heart, and I resent it. For all of the different things that I've said in this camera, unselfishly fighting against my own demons, explaining myself to others, trying to make it so that you know who I am. My very close friend doesn't know me. Obviously, she ain't watching enough of them therapy sessions. Apparently, that's all I'm gonna say. Or maybe I could reach out more. There's balance, right? But the point is, this don't inspire none of that. This don't inspire that. I wake up in the morning feeling like I gotta defend myself against things that I'm open to in regards to fixing myself. And then I gotta harbor the guilt trip of her misunderstanding what it is that I'm trying to receive. I'm trying to receive what it is that she said I did. Not deflect away from it, but that you can't provide me any recollection of pointers at all. It's gonna fuel my desire to reject what it is you're saying, especially with all the tea leaves surrounding that could be possible. You're dealing with a brain like this, so it's like communicate with people now. Not everybody's simple 1 2 1 2. Some of us are gonna overthink, underthink, and then throw some of that stuff at you. If we don't see nothing that makes any damn sense, man, it's gonna put a strain on the relationship entirely. As I've always told people, I'm too much for everybody. It's another reason why I stay alone. I'm gonna pick apart every damn thing. You ain't gonna be able to just throw something at me. I'm gonna think about it, I'm gonna come back at you, or I'm gonna get away from it. It's gonna be a situation where I ain't gonna say nothing, which I don't respect. Just like what I see in hers, another reflection of things I should do better. But that's how I operate. I'm like, man, you said something I don't like, you won't hear from me no more. That's how that goes. Because I protect myself against certain things that I think can tumble forward to be worse. I see one domino fall, I assume 37 can fall. I'm not gonna push another one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna push that. That's how I think. You ain't coming over here because I see this, that, and that being possible if I let you through that door. So your ass ain't coming in. That's it. You see what I'm saying? And that's how I operate, and it keeps me alive. So it's like, if people see me do that and they don't like that, know that I don't know no other way. Know that I don't know no other way. Feel me? And so that's what I want people to understand. If I had it all together, I could receive everything that y'all saying about me operating a certain way within this environment the right way, because I would have certain things attached to myself that would otherwise make it so. People that live with me, jobs, connections, various different things. I don't have none of that stuff because I kept away from it entirely. So from within this context of who I am, what do you expect from me is what I would ask all of you. Put yourself in my shoes. What do you expect? All I know is me. All I've ever been around basically is me. Since I was about 15 years old, I've stayed alone. Why would I have this rhythm of being able to do what you need me to do socially? Why would I have those things in mind? To protect against you from what it is that is normal with people who don't live like me. Nobody relates to isolation, fam. They don't know the first thing about how it feels to have been in an isolated space for a long time and what comes with the decisions you make that are wrong, that you have to live with by yourself. Crypto losses, AMC losses, cars getting repoed. I dealt with that shit with you guys. I didn't have nobody in the house dealing with me. All this shit been done by myself, alone. And what I found myself being is better after all those things. And you think I'm gonna let somebody's opinion that is misguided deteriorate any of that? When I've been sitting here praying every day for different people, doing art and all kinds of stuff, trying to get my body in order, trying to get my mind in order, all different types of stuff, responding to these stresses, just to let somebody remind me of something that happened 16 years ago that I don't even see in myself, that they didn't even have the love in their heart to show me at that moment. And I'm supposed to call them my friend because of stuff they did a long time ago that they wouldn't do for me no more, apparently, because I'm not who they want me to be. And I can't be who they want me to be, because if I become who it is they want me to be, now I'm in an environment doing things that are foreign to me, and I'm probably going to be messing up left and right because it's just not what I do. This is why I get along with my homegirl Kay, because she's just like me. Even though it's hard to deal with people that go dark on you, it is nice to know that at least somebody else is somewhat like me. That's why I get along with Kay so well. Even though it's infinitely hard dealing with people that don't often be communicative. And this is why So for me, it's just like, man, I'm ready to reset on a lot of stuff. I don't even look at the world the way I did yesterday. I don't. And I don't regret the decision I made to do what comes naturally, for which I know how to do. If I have to work newer things into my equation to make me more intellectually compassionate or whatever it is, compassionately intellectual, I don't know what the word would be, to be smarter in that way, cool. But I'm not going to be pulling teeth out of my mouth or pulling nails off of my fingers to make people feel accepting of what it is that they don't even have the context from which to understand. Can't do that for you. All I can do is leave these here. That's it. So as I told y'all yesterday, if for some reason you see me in person and I'm not the greatest friend, know why. It's because I'm used to protecting myself from any and all domino effects for which could possibly tumble forward to something that make me die. Period. This is survival. I'm from Los Angeles. You don't know what is what. Everything tricky out here. I don't know what people up to. I'm always trying to think several steps ahead because you have to. So for me, I get it wrong a lot. I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm the smartest guy. I'm definitely not. But 39 years old. And I made it, baby, this far. And this is how. And if I'd have did what everybody else was doing, I'd probably be in jail or dead by now. So I just want people to understand what I think normalcy is. And I want people to know I've been praying the whole time. Ain't none of this stuff that's been going on in this house has been done without the Lord. I've been trying my very best to get closer to him, and I'm done so. And I think the reflection of that is in this channel. So there's a lot to overcome. There's still demons in here that gotta come out, and you probably saw them right here in this video right now. But I'm telling you this, I am not going to go forward reflecting who it is that she said I was, regardless of whether or not those things are true or not. It ain't gonna be none of that. And I want people to hold me accountable for what it is they see in the moment. And if I reject it, just let me reject it. But do not burden me with stuff 20 years later that you didn't care to bring up 20 minutes later. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.